So almost there, I think. Come on now. And we're live. Yes. Yay. Okay. You guys, we have we have great stuff tonight. I'm so happy. If you can be unmuted, I beg you to be unmuted. Um, I know Debbie has a migraine. I'm so sorry, and Sharon is traveling. But y'all, it's gonna be really good. So, and I'm still expecting some more to join. So anyway, let's go around. Tell me your name, how long you've had your business. If you came on Saturday to the event, I would love for you to unmute and give me something that you got from it. If you were not at the event, that's okay. Just listen up, introduce yourself. And Debbie, I know what a migraine's like. So if you don't want to unmute, that's fine. So I'm going to start with Alicia. Actually, should I start with Sharon? Because it looks like you're not moving right now.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm Sharon Tovar Davis, and I relaunched my business on Friday, or is it Saturday? Friday. Saturday. This
Friday.
last Saturday. So
Yeah.
I'm on day two. Day two. I learned a lot from the conference. I took pages and pages of notes. I was so thankful that I went. I did like there was so many things that I took from it. I highlighted stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can grab one thing. Um, I definitely need my own personal thoughts were to set up my customer base, use my own product for everything, um, set up samples to hand out with all the information in it, not just a sample. Here you go, but done nicely and
Mhm.
with the opportunity. Touch my business daily, and I do have a beauty coat that I've had forever. I don't know if it'll fit me, but I could never throw it away. So I might just wash it and see if I take it in or something.
Gotta take
But
it
I
in.
still
Yeah.
have one.
It's not
um,
going to fit you, Sharon.
I have let's see, I want to utilize all the social um sites. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, I
I'm
loved it. It was
excited.
great. Me too.
Fantastic. Uh, joining us from the car. It's wonderful. Donna, your turn.
Oh, I'm the amazing Donna Hardin. Yay!
Yay, Donna.
And I've had my business for 17 years. And I really, really, really like Kimberly Copeland. She's a national. I've seen her before and I just love her. She's so down to earth and she just is so, real. Anyway, she said, do the work. When you work, you win. See the faces. And that is the bottom line. That's what we've always learned. You've got to see the faces to, get where you want to go. So that was like, I should have had a V8.
Hey, fantastic. Mandy, you were there too. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
I've got my notebook. I've been running.
Okay.
So I really liked um I the first gal, I can't remember what her name was. She said, I can't remember, lead generation is nothing more than connecting with women. What to make sure you show up dressed in your Mary Kay
Because when you feel different, when you show up different, you feel different. And that really struck me. She said it was just a small shift. The word lead generation is overwhelming. And if you saw my lead generation, you would die, because I have so many leads and just connecting. And sometimes it's just overwhelming for me, but just connecting. And then the second gal, she said, if God gave us different gifts, he didn't plan on using us all the same.
I love that so much.
I did too.
Yeah.
And then she said, she gave 5 things: the beauty box, the birthday list, the warm chat, roses at restaurant, and groups, different groups that we're involved in. And oh, the last girl, she said, I don't remember which one it was. She said, product, don't give discounts, add product, add a sample, add something to your bag that they can try, and you'll have more sales. So add something. If you know that they like something, then order a sample and put the samples in there. Let them try. So plus, not minus.
Yes, yes. And that's the whole concept of the spend 50, get an item at half price. That's the same concept, and only it's not free, but it covers your cost. But anyway, just want to throw that out. Yeah. There's so many ideas out there.
There was a lot.
Yeah. Everybody is going to get to talk. And Debbie, I sent you a message. If you want to share, just unmute. It's totally fine either way. I want to share the thing that really hit me, like between the eyes or over the head or whatever, was whoever it was said, and seriously, hear this, y'all, because we all get, I don't want to say afraid, but we all hold ourselves back from talking to people sometimes. And what she said was, I am worthy of her yes, and I am not wounded by her no. Yeah, I'm worthy of her yes, and I'm not wounded by her no. So I love that. Kimberly and Alicia, would you introduce yourself and just, yeah, and we'll go on because I've got a lot.
I'm gonna go, Kimberly.
Sure. So I'm Kimberly. I have had my business for a year and maybe a week.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I know. It went by fast and I've had a lot of fun and I've learned a lot. And I continue, to strive to grow. I didn't attend conference because of my tooth thing, but I like what Sharon said. Just the reminder to touch your business daily, because I know, obviously when I'm not up to par, physically, sometimes that's hard, but just the reminder to touch the business daily in some fashion. That's a really good reminder. So I'm glad she pointed that out.
Yay. And Alicia.
I just took a bite.
I waited.
I'm Alicia. I've had my business for 14 years, 14 and a half, maybe. And I didn't go to career conference. However, I had heard someone say that marketing is just serving someone before they pay you. So it kind of goes along with that connection piece of lead generation is connection. I feel like, to me, those things sound the same. Like the marketing is just is connection. And you are your brand. You are the Mary Kay brand. So you're your version of the Mary Kay brand. So
love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about the psychology of the skincare class. And I'm going to be asking you guys questions, which is why I asked you to unmute if it's possible, because I want your input. Okay. I also wanted to share that I filled out my Who Do You Know paper. And as I was doing it, I don't know about you guys, but as I was filling it out, I'm going through my phone. I only got to C, the letter C. And I was just, I mean, I have like, I don't know, 40,000 contacts in there. It's ridiculous. But as I was going through my phone, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that person. I forgot about that person. I forgot. Who is that person? Well, they're in my phone. So at some point they were important and I can reach out. So I'm really actually pretty lit up about that. You know, there's these people that, I mean, hopefully they have the same phone number, but for those of you who were not there, we got Bubble Sheet, which I just want to remind everybody who was there, Bubble Sheet. So anyway, oh, and I apologize, I'm all over the place. I'm going to share just real quick. I want to show you that there's something available to you. Today is the last day to get it for $1. Okay, $1. Hello, $1. And that is this pajama graphics. I put it on the Believe page. I put it in the Messenger group. This gal she has all my director templates. Everything you see, I'm not creating, she's creating it. I add stuff to it. So I want you to just get a quick look here at it. You can sign up for the month of April for $1. You can cancel at any time. I think it's $13. It's either $11 or $13 a month. It's very inexpensive. On the homepage, she has tutorials on how to do the stuff in here. Okay. Yeah, $13 a month. Okay. So there, it teaches you how to utilize her content. Okay. This is the girl. She looks like she's 10. She's the sweetest thing. Oh, here's the tutorials. Okay. There are tutorials on how to do all of the things. Okay. So if you're like, I don't know how to use Canva, that's okay. You don't even have to pay for Canva to use this. Okay. And you don't have to do this. I'm just putting it out there. It's a tool that's new, but she has, so I'm going to just give you an example here. In her April album, here's some cover photos, company promotions, which will grow, newsletter that you can send to your customers, invitations that you can alter. Okay. And there's so much. She's got in the albums, she has team building and products and business tools. Let's go to lead generation. Okay. So she gives you tools that you can utilize and you just click on it and it brings you into Canva. And then you just put your information, you take her information off and you put your information. And again, there's tutorials on how to do it. So if you're like, do it, that's okay. It's all there for you. Okay. Does that kind of make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's available. It's $1 for the month of April, but today you have to sign up. Otherwise it's $13. Okay. So let's talk about the psychology of a skincare class. I'm assuming Alicia is still there. What do I mean by the skincare class? It's like all psychology. Anybody have any insight before I just start talking and asking questions? Okay, so let's just,
Well, I
let's,
was sorry, I was coming over to
It's-
unmute myself, but
Yeah.
I think that there's like when you go to a car dealership, they want you to do a test drive because then you become emotionally connected to the car that you're in. Have you ever gone to a dealership
dealer.
and had zero clue what car you were going to get, or had a totally different car in mind and they didn't have it, so they put you in a different one, and then you ended up buying that one? It's kind of the same. That's a psychology you have to take. They want you to take ownership of the car.
Yes, that's fantastic. You know, Mary Kay didn't just throw all this stuff together and say, just do these things. The idea is, again, we've been saying it, it's connection. Okay. So when does connection start with your hostess? When does it start? Blurt it out.
The moment you make contact with her,
Okay. And when are you doing that?
when you make a phone call or a text, or
Okay.
you meet her in person.
Okay. Make sense, guys? So it takes what, 3 seconds to get your first impression or something. So the connection starts there. As we coach the appointment, the connection builds. Okay. And if you're intentional about it. So tell me, like, so when we're coaching, when we're calling or texting her and making sure she knows where she's going, or that she's got the Zoom link, or did she get her samples? How can you build connection during coaching?
Ask questions.
Hmm?
Said ask questions.
Ask questions. Yeah, ask questions. If I'm on the phone with her and I can hear a baby in the background, if I'm on video with her and I can see, like, Sharon's got kids in the back of her car right now, right? So if I was trying to book Sharon, I would be asking about those kids, which I was going to do anyway, but I'm already running late. Why do I want to do that?
Find something in common.
Okay. Okay. Find something in common. What does that do to I mean, I know it builds the connection, but why is that important, Mandy?
Because you strengthen your connection to the person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how does that help us to hold classes and build a customer base?
People like people who make them feel good about themselves. And
Okay.
so, and the number one thing that people like to talk about is themselves, supposedly.
You're building a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm trying to connect with her, and is she gonna trust me more or less?
More.
Or right? If I just make it about business, when do you want your appointment? What's your skin type? Here's the directions. Do you have questions? Do I have any rapport with her at all?
No.
And so if I don't have rapport with her and she gets a toothache, and I'm going to use Kimberly for tooth this last week. If I don't have any connection with her and she's got a toothache, what might she do with the skincare class?
Blow it off.
I heard miss it and I heard something else.
Blow it off. She won't even call you.
Exactly. Because, yeah, go ahead.
She won't feel like she needs to call you like you're a friend. Oh, I better call her because, I want her to know that I can't make it because of this, that kind of thing. And some people would just be like, I don't care. And
I don't know her.
I have a toothache and that's it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But if you have built a relationship with her, she's more likely to let you know if something comes up. She's also more likely to attend the appointment, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more you connect with her, if you can talk to her on the phone, or, they talked at Career Conference about the voice memos. We've talked about that before. If she can hear your voice. Anyway, it's psychology, right? Are we trying to be somebody that we're not?
No.
Absolutely not. We're not trying to be phony baloney. We're not trying to pretend to be something else. We're not trying to bait and switch. I just want to make sure I'm really super clear. The idea is to connect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so we can hold appointments in our own home, in her home, on Zoom, over the phone, whatever. So, when she's arriving at the appointment, or you're arriving at the appointment, I don't know about y'all. When I walked up to Kathy Laughlin's house, I'd been on the outside before, but when walking in, I was like, so, what do you want to say to continue to grow the connection as she arrives or you arrive?
Just say you like something, like, oh, I love your entry, or I like your curtains, or oh, you have a kitty. I have a kitty.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If
Which
I'm on,
you would do anyway, right? Anybody would do that, I would
you
imagine.
would hope.
The house is so gorgeous. It was hard not to find something you didn't like.
Yeah,
Right.
it was not possible. Like I liked everything in her house. Um,
Do you know what the theme of her home was?
does it have
No.
some kind of word?
Uh-huh.
What is it?
Home. Everywhere
Oh.
you looked, it said
Yeah.
home, or
Yeah.
it had a picture of a child, or something that made you feel at home in every room. Now, I went to the bathroom in the hallway and the
Yeah.
kitchen and the but it was all warmth.
Exactly. So Mary Kay herself taught us that if you're arriving to her home, you ring the doorbell, you're a few minutes early so that you have time to get set up and whatnot. You ring the doorbell, and do you stand right at the door like this?
No,
No, what do?
you back up and wait.
You back up so you don't look like a crazy person. So you back up, you ring the bell, you back up, and then you find, like you guys said, you find something to compliment her on. If she's coming to you, can you still do the same thing? For example.
Compliment something she's wearing.
Mhm. Or her perfume or her car or something, right?
Right.
There's always something, and it's all about the sign around the neck that says "Make me feel important." We're just doing what Mary Kay taught to make her feel important. Okay, so
You're so good at that too, Mimi. You're so awesome at that.
it's the pot and kettle, my friend. You do the same exact thing.
No, it's you. You don't know. You know my love language.
I will just say thank you. Um, so if you're on Zoom, how do you connect with the person on the screen? What can you do? How can you find
That's
something
the
to compliment?
background.
Is that really your house? I mean, there's always something. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Even if it's like, I like the color of your hair, or those glasses, Donna, those are the coolest glasses. I mean, find something. Okay. So now you've got them sitting around the table. Okay. Either at her house or your house or on Zoom. That I always say the Zoom camera is my table. Okay. Anybody know what the next thing is we want to do in this stage of connection?
You ask about them.
Ask about them. Now, what is the purpose of asking about them?
So you can find out what they are, a DICS.
Okay.
You can kind of tell right then if they talk about their work or they talk about their family, or you know what I mean? You can kind of tell where they are, where they fall in that.
I love it. Exactly. So somebody might not know what DISC is. So just for fun, who knows what D is?
Daisy.
Driver.
Driver. What's a
Dominant.
driver?
A director.
Okay.
A leader, a strong leader.
Okay. A strong person, a strong leader. Okay. What's an I?
And somebody that's
Influencer.
yay.
You're
They
both
talk a
right.
lot.
Exactly. How about S? What is S? What's some characteristics of an S?
Safe.
They are
Safe.
safe. Her little
Daisy.
girl.
You're so right.
They're safe. They're usually teachers, they're administrators, they're very steady.
Steady. And what's really important to an S? Not that it's not important to everybody else, but what's like a primary focus for an S?
Family.
Family. So if you
Safety and
ask,
security.
yep, family, safety, security. So if you ask them to talk about themselves and she starts saying, well, I'm a mom, I've got 2 daughters, that's like flashing, blinding flash of obvious, right? She's primarily an S. We all have all of these things. Okay, what's a C?
A C is a very detailed, quiet. They take a long time to make a decision. They have to know a lot of information.
They ask a lot of
They
questions.
ask a lot of questions. Those are your engineers, your accountants, your
I'll tell a C you can make millions of dollars.
No
You-
way. You better show me the money
Mhm, mhm.
and how you got there every step of the way.
Okay. If I ask, so if I ask a C to tell me about themselves, what's something that they will probably lead with?
They'll ask questions. What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? When they say, "What do you want to know?" Boom, C.
Richard answers a question with a question.
There you go. Yes, accountants are usually C's. I would think librarians are C's, but I don't know, Kim.
I think they're S's.
I'm an S.
Okay.
Alicia, what are you?
I am pretty equal to all of them.
Ooh,
Miss.
they're hard to find.
I have
I'm a
a
li-
very little C. I'm an SDI. I used to be a DISC, but now I'm an SDI. It's interesting because as you mature, become more glittery, you might change.
Yeah, and you learn as you learn to adjust to other personalities. So you know their traits, you know what they do, so you have to adjust your personality to their personality. And as you learn those traits, the more people you work with, the more balanced you become. And that helps. I've been an ID and a DI, but mostly ID.
Mm.
I
So
was a D when I first got into Mary Kay, way more D.
Mhm.
And I think having Xander made me
more.
more more S. I always had some C in me too though, because I was very organized and very detail oriented.
Okay. I love this conversation. You guys love this conversation?
Who do we
Yes.
know? Debbie, what's Debbie? Debbie's an S, huh? No, Debbie's a CS.
I think so. She might disagree. I don't.
Are you an
Um,
SC or a CS, Debbie?
She's got a migraine, so she might not respond. It's okay. It's all right. I totally get it.
And
Oh, okay.
do you remember when Aaron used to explain how DISC was?
Was that the driving in the car?
A D will say you ask them, tell me about you, and they'll tell you everything that's impressive about them, where they work, where they went to school, all that kind of stuff. The I will tell you everything that is, I like to have fun, and they're like really bubbly and like they're all about the energy. And then the S will tell you everything about their life and tell you nothing about them. And then the C will ask you all the questions.
And C's kind of do that too, sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
Especially if they're CS. Yeah, they'll do that.
So as we're going around the table, now when we're going around the table and asking about
Oh,
them,
Debbie's a CS. And
you called it. So as we're going around the table, we have not given any information about ourselves other than maybe our name. Okay. Yeah. I'm Mimi Novak. I'm with Mary Kay. Been doing this for 20 whatever years. Okay. But I haven't given details about my life. Now I might have to the hostess in the process of booking the appointment and coaching. She might know something about me, but I'm an information gatherer. I'm a gatherer of women and I'm a gatherer of information. And when I'm saying I mean that for each of us, we are each information gatherers and gatherers of women. Okay. So if I learn that I have, Mary Kay always said that at every skincare class, there's a new consultant. She may or may not sign on the spot, but there's a new consultant at every appointment. Okay. For example, Kimberly, you were my customer for quite some time, right? Okay.
Oh gosh, 3 or 4 years.
Exactly. Yeah. And Mandy too, so okay, I digress. So there's a consultant at every appointment. And our job is to uncover who it is. Now, sometimes your spidey sense might go off and you might be like, it's her. Okay. And so as I'm gathering and I'm like, okay, so I picked up that Alicia is really has a lot of S in her, and that Mandy's got a lot of I, that Debbie's a C, she's really organized. You get the idea, right? So now when I want to talk about myself, okay, I want to try to pull some of the things about myself, meaning you, yourself. And this is a skill that takes a minute to learn. Okay. So I'm going to provide you with a second option, but you're going to pull it. So if I have a bunch of teenager, like 18-year-olds at my skincare class, okay, I'm 57 years old. I'm a single mom of 2. Okay. Am I going to talk, unless they talk about how I can't wait to be a mom and stay home with my kids? Am I really going to talk about that part of my life? I'm going to mention it, but I'm not going to, what might I spend my time talking to an 18 or 20-year-old about?
Cool. Friends.
Okay. How you
Making
have
extra money.
okay. You guys got it. And it's totally flexible because they're probably in school. Okay. So you can work this around your life. You're going to make new friends. You're going to make some money. Okay. Does that kind of make sense to you? That now, again, this doesn't mean that you are being phony baloney or anything like that. It just means that you are trying to make a deeper, further connection with the people that's sitting in front of you. Good? Okay. Ask me questions about that. Let's talk about that. Alicia, you look like you were going to say something. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Does it sound difficult to do?
Ask the question again.
So as when you're trying to connect to their story with your own story, what comes to your mind when I'm suggesting that? Does it sound hard?
Where do they go to school?
Hmm?
A lady walked in the door the other day, and Jason was there as well, and she said, "Oh, he said, "Oh, you're wearing a Santa Clara t-shirt." She said, "Yeah." And he said, "I got a daughter at Santa Clara." She said, "Oh, you do?" She said, "Yes." And they hit it off. And who's your son? Who's your daughter? Oh, I know her, but they went to Memorial together. Yeah, my son goes to Memorial. I have a son that goes to Memorial.
Love it.
So the whole thing, and then Jason was on his way out, so we talked a lot after Jason left, and I didn't really get to say anything, but their introduction made a way for me.
Exactly. That's excellent, Mandy. It really is. It's excellent. You may or may not find a connection like that at a skincare class, but you get what I'm saying. So like if you have a very professional women sitting around the table, you probably don't want to talk about, we have and like Mandy said it at the beginning, you want to match, kind of mirror her. Mm-hmm. Good? We all on the same page? Any comments, questions, anything? Okay. So now in a minute, I'm going to give you an alternative to that in case you're like, we're all building that skill and I don't want to intimidate anybody. So if you're like, gosh, I don't know if I could do that off the fly like that, we're going to have something else to say, but let me just keep going. After you have introduced yourself, so a lot of times I hear consultants say that they have a hard time with the closing, or they ran out of time to share the business opportunity. Okay. So here's how I was taught, and my director was trained by Mary Kay. So this is what Mary Kay taught, is that after you've done these introductions, you're going to set an agenda. Okay. We've gotten to know each other, and you're going to say this kind of thing out loud. You got to pick your own words. And there's a flip chart. Okay. Flip chart. Oh, you can't see. Flip chart. You know, if nothing else, you can just read the flip chart. But it's important to let them know what to expect. We're going to be together for about an hour or an hour and a half. You got to figure that part out for your own self. You've already gotten to know me, and I've gotten to know you. You're gonna get to know Mary Kay now, okay? And you're gonna share some Mary Kay facts, okay? You're gonna let them know we're gonna try some products. I'm gonna answer your questions. At the very end, we're gonna meet one-on-one. So if you have 3 or 4 people at the table, you're going to say, I'm going to take each of you individually into that room over there so I can have a personal consultation with you just for a couple of minutes. I'm going to share with you when we are done with all of that. I'm going to share with you how we make money, and you guys get to go home. Okay. You let them know the agenda, and then they know what to expect. Okay. Why is that why is it important for them to know what to expect?
So that they let their guard down.
Yeah.
Okay. They let their guard down. Mandy, you're
They
talking
don't
and you're
say-
muted.
So they don't say, how much longer is it? I have to go.
Yeah, yeah. Mandy, you were saying something.
Let's say what Donna just said.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
if
you're
you say you're gonna be there an hour in their house
Mhm.
or an hour and a half,
you have to determine for your own self, like, how long is my appointment? If I'm in person, my appointment's 2 hours. Like, that's all there is to it. We talk. I spend a lot of time getting to know each other. If I'm on Zoom, not as much. Okay.
no longer, not shorter.
Longer in person, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, estimate longer, give them the extended amount of time instead of the shorter, because otherwise their husband's gonna come home right about the time that you're
Good.
ready to close.
Yeah, that's excellent. And the last thing you want is for them to leave, right? As you have to close. The other thing it does is if you have a talker, anybody ever had a talker at their appointment?
I'm the talker at the appointment.
I am.
So that's one way. If I tell them, hey, I'm going to be here about an hour and a half, I'm going to be here about 2 hours, and I have a talker and she's going off about, whatever, that I can say, you know what, you and we can talk about that a little bit later, because I'm going to bring us back, because I promised you guys 2 hours, and I don't want to like hold y'all hostage all night long, and people laugh, and she gets the idea. But I learned that pretty early on. So, okay. I'm looking at my notes. We did all of that. Okay. So here's the other thing that I want to challenge you to do. If you're like I was at the beginning, or at the beginning of my business, or if I hadn't held a lot of skincare classes in a while, you might consider just coming up with an I statement that you memorize. A 1 minute, who am I and why am I doing this? Okay. So go ahead, Mandy.
Elevator script.
Elevator script. Very good. So my name is, I've been doing this for this long. Before Mary Kay, I did this, or I do this alongside my Mary Kay business. You want to come across as the professional. So I'm going to use Mandy for a second. So you don't want to say, I'm a real estate agent, I do Mary Kay on the side. You want to say what?
I make people feel pretty.
And I sell real estate on the side.
And
I decided to start my Mary Kay business because fill in the blank. I fell in love with the products. I wanted to be able to stay home. I want to make some extra money. I've been able to spend my extra money on blah, blah, blah. It's paid my PG&E every month. Okay. Whatever it is. Okay. And really that's about it. As long as you're saying something like that, something that's inviting to them, like, so who you are, how long you've had your business, what you did before or alongside Mary Kay. Why did you decide to start? And, if you have a big goal, like if you want to earn, if you want to have a team, like I'm here to enrich the lives of successful women, of women who want to be more successful. I'm here because I want to replace my job and be a director. And that means I'd be doing Mary Kay full time. I want to earn the use of a free car. Have you ever earned a free car? You know what? No, I haven't. But my director, she just earned her 13th car. Okay. You use that. You know what? I still work my job, but my director, she's been doing this completely, all she's been doing for 22 and a half years. That's not because, oh, she's so great. Oh my gosh, your director's so amazing. It's to let them know that it is possible, and somebody you could touch, okay, who might be what they're after. Does that make sense? All right, so talk to me, ask me questions, give me some feedback. What have you gotten from this? You'll need to unmute.
We have resources.
Okay. Now, as we go through this process, there's stuff we tell ourselves in our own brain. Would you guys agree with that?
Mhm.
Yeah. And Alicia, I know you wanted to share some stuff about the stories we tell ourselves.
I like to tell people that I hear voices in my head. I actually did tell one of Xander's teachers, I said, the voices in my head told me that I should ask you if you've ever tried Mary Kay before. And it's a joke, but it's also true because I have a voice in my head that says, go talk to her. Right? You guys all have that voice, right?
Yep.
Anybody have the other voice that says, oh, she's not interested. She's too pretty. What if she tells you no?
Oh,
Right?
I have one of those. It says,
Uh-huh.
oh, she owns a med spa. And yesterday, she owns a med spa. I said, what did you do for your birthday? Oh, I could have died, you guys. She said, my son gave me a gift certificate to, guess what I'm going to say? Sephora, and I spent all afternoon at Sephora.
Oh, no.
So thank you for making my point, Mandy. Because so I went to Les Schwab the other day to get an oil change, and there was one female employee, and this girl is gorgeous, makeup's all put together, and I had the voice that said, ask her if she's tried Mary Kay before. And then I had the other voice that said, oh, she's not going to use Mary Kay. She uses something else because she looks so put together. And I'm like, you shush. And I asked her, have you ever tried Mary Kay before? And she goes, my aunt used to drive a pink Cadillac. She was really high up in Mary Kay. And I had this one lipstick and I've had it for 5 years and it's my favorite. And I'm scraping the bottom of it. And she bought a roll-up bag and skincare for her and the acne set for her trial set for her daughter, and not the lipstick, even though we still have that same color.
Oh my gosh.
Did you do a facial on her?
I asked her, have you if you've tried it, and then I
Right.
said, I'm gonna bring back I'll bring you samples and we'll set up an appointment. And we set up an appointment right there and then did it on Zoom, even
Wow. On Zoom.
I know. Actually Google Meet, but the point, I think the point is that is learning the difference between the two voices.
Mm.
And the voice that is, we've called her Bon Kwikwi, we've called it the enemy, we've called, like, it's negative head talk, whatever you want to call it. The voice that says go do it, that's God's voice, that's your higher self, that's your inner wisdom. Like, that is the voice that is speaking truth.
Mm.
The other voice, Bon Kwikwi, is always negative. It's always fear. It's always, yeah, but you shouldn't because
Security.
security. Right? So the way that I've gotten really good at hearing that voice is through journaling, because there's a distinction between the two voices. And the more that you listen to the positive voice, the farther and faster you'll go in your business, and the happier you're going to be in your life. Because I was getting kind of signs from the universe that I needed to go get my car checked out. And when I did, they found a bolt that was broken in my back tire.
Mm.
And when I Googled it, they said, oh yeah, your tire could fall off with a broken bolt. So it was like, not only did I get a customer, but I also didn't have my wheel fall off, because I have ignored the voice that said, go look at your tire, or go do that. Or you need new tires. And I've ignored it and ignored it and ignored it. And then I hit a freaking pothole and broke 2 wheels.
Previously. Okay.
Yeah, not recently. It was like a year ago. But I've ignored that voice. Another word for that voice is intuition. Like, I've ignored that a lot. Nothing good happens from ignoring your intuition. All good things happen from listening to it.
Love it.
Anybody.
Anybody?
Plus, Alicia, you're very prophetic. You know that? Because I have been ignoring the dash light for 3 weeks.
I ignore the tires low light all the time. And I'm like, is it going to bite me? Is it going to bite me in the butt again?
Yeah. All right. So was this good? Did you guys get something? Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah. I love having these conversations. I think that it's very eye-opening because, hold on. I emailed this to you and it's on the Believe page. I'm giving you a goal. You choose to pick it up or not, okay? I'm not your boss. But the goal for us all is to hold 5 classes in the month of April. And I will leave you with 2 things. If you choose to go with this and hold these 5 classes, here's what you could have. And I'm showing you low ball. Okay. We did this last week. I'm going to do it again. 5 skincare classes with 4 women at each class means you're in front of 20 new faces. Each class should retail you about $300. Now, some are going to be more and some are going to be less, but that's times 5 classes. That's $1,500 in sales, ladies. Now, those 20 faces, you should be able to get 5 referrals from each one of them. And that's 100 new leads. 100 new leads. And within that, there is at least 2 or 3 new team members by holding those 5 classes. Okay. So I just want you to see potential. I want you to listen to the positive voice and not the Von Kwikwi voice. Okay. And go ahead.
Bon Kwikwi.
Von Kwikwi. And I'm going to leave you with the thought of pray to meet the women who are praying for to meet you. They're praying for something more in their life.
Good.
Pray to meet them. Okay. Do that every day. Pray over your classes. Pray over every time you sit down to make booking calls. Pray over it. Oh, Sunday, we're booking together at my house. Should you choose to attend. So we can support each other and lift each other up and get excited for each other. So Sunday, it's April 6th, at 5 o'clock. Okay. So I hope that you will join. And that's all I have. You guys good? Good? Okay. Yeah. All right, ladies, go make it a very powerful rest of your day. Last day of the month. Okay.